An incredible day, of course, because of this milestone that was reached. It was reached very early this morning with the first of these small boats that came across. And very soon after, we got an indication that actually this was going to be a bumper day for arrivals. And indeed, so far, according to our Kent producer, 11 small boats have crossed the English Channel with about 550 people to add to that tally. So now quite a bit over 100,000. And during the day, well, astonishing scenes, because as these boats were coming over, one of the Border Force vessels, Volunteer, a catamaran that normally zips from one boat to the other, picks the occupants up and takes them to Dover Harbour. It broke down. Lifeboats had to be called in to act as those rendezvous pick-up migrant taxis, as some people have called them. But they picked up the migrants and taken them back. And while they were doing that, there was an incident that unfolded off Dungeness in which a migrant boat got into trouble. A number of people were in the water. 4 lifeboats attended that. They pulled a few people from the water. They were then taken to Dover Harbour as well. And then that drone, that Border Force drone you were talking about, operating from Lydd Airport in Kent, one of a number of aerial assets that the Border Force and Coast Guard have to monitor from the sky those coming across so they know where to put their assets. That developed some kind of technical problem and ditched in the sea. The very latest is, I understand, that authorities have now recovered that drone and it'll obviously be taken away for examination, whether it's still operational again or whether it's just, completely defunct as a sort of an operational drone again. We don't know. But yeah, an astonishing day on top of just the milestone of 100,000 who've crossed since 2018.
Absolutely. And just before I go to my next guest, and we're going to have a conversation about whether it is legal to turn boats back and what that situation would look like. It is quite difficult to get hold of accurate data when it comes to how many Channel migrants we have actually deported, isn't it, I believe?
Yeah, I don't think it's very many, to be honest. When we get reports out from the Home Office about people that they've returned, it tends to be the foreign criminals. So you hear about 1,000 or more Albanians who've been returned. Well, these are the vast majority of them Albanians who've been in jail here, who served their sentence, and then who've been deported back to Albania. The fact is, the vast majority of the 100,000 people who've come across in small boats since 2018 have not yet had a decision on their asylum claims. They're stuck in the system. They are in the hundreds of hotels right across the country. Some of them are going on the Bibby barge. Others are going into Wethersfield and eventually perhaps to RAF Scampton if the government ever gets that past the courts. So, yes, not many have been sent back. The government say it's their aspiration, of course, to have those who are coming across the Channel from now on declared illegal immigrants. They've passed the law, but they need a third country to send them to if they can't send them to their own country. And that third country at the moment is Rwanda. It's Rwanda or bust for the government. They bet the house on it. So they need Rwanda, which is currently stuck in the courts.